What is your American dream?
My American dream. Wow. Piece of the pie. Definitely expanding our business, corporation, making it worldwide.
I've experienced so many stories of immigrants coming in, and I want to see everyone have the same opportunity to achieve their dream equally, no matter what demographic background they come from.
My American dream is I hope that one day we can actually live up to our pledge and have liberty and justice for everyone in America, because America is supposed to be the melting pot and the safe haven for immigrants that migrate over here.
My American dream is for people and animals to come together in unity and peace, honestly.
The whole idea of the American dream is that I have the ability and option to decide what I want my dream to be. And for me, that's what American dream is all about.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is September 19th. My name is Brad Bernstein, and I have with me the fabulous Belgium Kim, a.k.a. Travel Queen Kim, and Dr. Yo-Yo, a.k.a. Jonathan Elias.
Woof.
Dr. Yo-Yo, would you prefer to be Dr. Yo-Yo or Jonathan Elias?
Dr. Yo-Yo.
Would you prefer to be Travel Queen Kim or Belgium Kim?
Yeah, I was Travel Queen Kim for a long time. I think it might be time for a rebrand.
Rebranding Travel Queen Kim.
I think it might be time because I've now been Belgium Kim for so long. It's the longest name I've ever had on this show. It's starting to feel weird, Brad. I'm starting to feel...
Well, Travel Queen Kim makes you more worldly.
It does.
Belgium Kim makes you just very Belgium-centric.
Very European.
This is true.
Very European.
Very European. And you're really not. You're Southern.
Right.
A little bit of everything, yeah.
Right.
I mean, she can be, like, when she starts speaking in French and stuff. And
That's
like,
true. I do seem real
European.
European.
Then she's very European.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're actually a conundrum to me.
Yes, I am.
Because you're Belgium, you're French, you're Southern, and you live in Harlem. It's a conundrum to me, Belgium Kim, a.k.a. Travel Queen Kim, a.k.a. Kim. I don't know. I don't even know who you are anymore.
So
I'll throw another monkey wrench in there.
Yes.
I am also truly could go to an embassy and get this passport Dutch.
Really?
Truly 100%.
Interesting.
Completely Dutch. My
Very interesting.
My mother is Dutch. My grandparents are Dutch.
Now,
I was born in Belgium.
Now, Yo-Yo is a conundrum to me as well.
Oh, how so?
Yes, he's Ethiopian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
at the same time, he celebrates Eastern Orthodox Christianity.
Right.
Yet every Friday and Saturday, he's at a bar mitzvah. Okay. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the man got a doctorate in love. Where did this all come from? Right?
It's a thing.
Is it true or not true? Everything I just said, Jonathan.
It's absolutely true.
Okay, so I
guess you're right.
I don't know if I should call you Dr. Yo-Yo, if I should call you Jonathan Elias, Jonathan Elstein. I'm not exactly sure what I should be calling you.
However you're feeling that for that day.
Like.
Jonathan Elstein.
That'd be great.
Right around
That's a good one.
Maybe if we need to rebrand him, we should rebrand him as Jonathan Elstein.
Yeah, then he'll definitely be Dr. Jonathan Elstein. Wait, I need to know, because I have major FOMO, where did the doctor thing come from?
Oh, you were
Because I was in Belgium.
How did it start?
He was just giving advice on love, and we just called him Dr. Love, and it just started happening.
Yeah, and then everybody was like, Dr. Yo-Yo.
Dr. Yo-Yo, and it just came out. Just like
we're saying the Doctor of Love. I wasn't Dr. Love, but I was the Doctor of
correct.
Love.
And then it morphed into Dr. Love, Dr. Yo-Yo.
I see.
Right, and it was just Dr. Yo-Yo.
I forgot you weren't here.
Right.
We had fun.
It's kind of like how Kind of like Jenny from the Cubicle morphed into J Cube.
Also while I was gone.
Also while you were
Wow.
And Little Caesar happened while I was gone.
Correct.
Apparently, the creative juices start to flow with nicknames when I leave the building.
Because you want to know why? I mean, I don't want to call you out or anything.
Throw me under the bus, Brad.
But when you're out of the building, there's a lot more silence. We can think a little more.
I don't know what you're talking about, Brad. I have no idea what you're saying.
I gotta say hello to Cordella Douglas, Javel Finklin. How are you? KK says I'm new here. Hi, KK. Why don't you say hello, everybody?
KK.
Hey, KK.
What's up, KK?
And KK, just because you're new here, let me tell you how it works. You say, "Hey, squad, what's up?" Or if you're referring to one of us, it's Uncle Brad. It's maybe Belgium Kim rebranded as Travel Queen Kim. It could be Dr. Yo-Yo rebranded as Jonathan Elstein. You can say hello. You can say hello to any one of us, and we call ourselves the crew, and the people who are watching are our squad. Anna K. Moxham, how are you? Fearless Michelle, Mary, Grace L. Viernes. Says happy, you already has it already, Mary Grace. She's like, happy to see Dr. Yo-Yo, Kimmy, and Uncle Brad.
There it is.
All right, and just as we got everybody branded into Dr. Yo-Yo, right? I don't think you want to be Jonathan Elstein.
No.
That's too square. Dr. Yo-Yo's much
I should
better.
have my glasses if I was going to be Jonathan Elstein. Like my eyebrows should be like connected.
That's right. Artemio and Manzano, how are you? Marge Higgs saying, hey. Myrtle Ray. Karen Rowe, Deanna Jimenez, how are you? I think it's Dina Jimenez. I said Sophia Gray. Marcia, Never Give Up, Reed Powell, Tamika Nelson laughing, and Mintu Saab has a question we'll get to you in a few minutes. And Ulissa Ebanks says hello from the Cayman Islands.
Hey!
Travel Queen Kim, have you ever been to the Cayman Islands?
You know, I haven't.
I have never been either. It's
Really?
probably one of the few
Islands in the
islands,
world
not in the world, but in the in the Caribbean, West
Right.
Indian islands I have not been to.
Yeah, the only thing I know about the Cayman Islands is that it's used as tax shelters.
That is correct.
As what?
Whenever you have like a lot of money that you don't want to pay taxes on, you have an offshore bank account
Yes.
always in the Cayman Islands.
Yes, yes, I pay my taxes in full. I never.
Okay.
So no secret bank
There's no
account?
secret bank
Oh,
accounts.
man, I haven't paid
Maybe I
taxes in
should start
decades.
going
I thought
to
you were about to
Maybe I
say
should start
something.
going there. And on YouTube, Faris Imlul says hello, Ja Love. Hello, everybody. Tracy Lacey. I don't even know how we pronounce this person's name. Exari Ards.
Where's this on?
Oh, you know
RDZ.
what? Yeah, I
Exari
say Zeri Rads.
Zeri
Rads.
I say Zeri Rads.
I say it's Exari Rods.
I think that's probably
I said
right.
Zeri Reds.
You say
Zeri
Zeri
Rads.
Rads? I like Exari.
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 I like
is
Exari
a cool
too.
name.
Exari,
actually,
yes. Jamila Russell, she has been watching a lot. Now, for those who don't know, Jamila is one of our fabulous immigration attorneys here, and she's always the last one out of the office. I noticed that.
Wow.
She really is. Maybe because she's spending 2 hours watching our show right now.
I was going to say, she's got to make up
Now, she's got to make up the time. I'm just figuring it out because she's always saying hello, right, on the show. And then when I leave after the show around 8 o'clock, 8:30, she's still in the office working.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm saying, boy, she really got her nose to the grinder.
Yeah.
But wait a second.
Yeah.
She's spending 2 hours watching the show.
Right.
So then after 7:30, she's got to finish her work.
Right.
Aha!
And if she's coming in at like 3 p.m., I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Jamila. I see her first thing in the morning. You know what I actually think about Jamila?
She's nice.
She's the,
smart.
and I will, and
happy person too.
Best dressed human in this
Really?
office.
Really?
One of the best dressed humans.
Wow.
I want you to know I take umbrage to that.
I'm sorry.
All right?
I'm sorry.
I
You can.
I think there's other well-dressed people, including myself.
I see what point
pretty
you're making.
fitted today.
What?
And that's why I said
I like
she's
your
one
outfit
of.
today.
Thank you.
I said one of.
One of. Okay.
One of. You can be the other ones of.
Okay. Joel Henry says, "Hey, Brad Squad." D Bean, straight from the coffee shop, says, "Hello, Squad. Welcome to each of you." We haven't seen D Bean all week, have we? Bernard Boyke saying hello. And who else we got? Baby D 1984.
Oh,
Okay,
that's a great year.
I can guarantee you that I can guess Baby D's birthday. I mean, age.
Age.
I bet you I can guarantee you I can guess.
But can you do it real fast?
I can.
Do it.
She's 37.
No.
No.
35.
92?
84.
35.
Oh, sorry.
84.
She's 35.
35. Damn.
Might be 34
Omar
if her birthday didn't
Brown
happen
and
yet.
29 Super C saying hello.
29
I like that.
Super C. I like
Yes,
that.
all right. So with that, I have no Brad Squad member of the day.
No.
That segment has fizzled out. Nobody wants to be a member anymore.
You guys need to quit being shy.
Yeah.
We just want to talk about how amazing you are and how amazing you
Right.
look.
I also have to say hello from watching from afar, 16 Edits. How are you?
Yes.
I just found out who 16 Edits was.
Yeah,
No idea.
Apparently there's been a mystery plaguing Brad for months
That's
that he
right.
has shared with no one.
I was
and
about to
the
say
day-
that he's only been going through in his
I want
own
you to know
head.
something. It really bothered me. There was somebody following me.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out who the hell it was.
Right.
Now I
and
know.
we all followed this person.
Right, and I didn't know who it was, and it was a mystery.
Right.
Within a riddle.
Right. And then one day he actually asked somebody.
Yeah, because I actually DM'd this person. I said, "Who are you?" I said, "Who are you? Show yourself, man. Show yourself." I got no response.
Brad's got like a CIA style Who is 16 Edits with a bunch of yarn and like thumbtacks in his
A big question mark in the middle.
Yeah.
Who
Just
are
like
you?
Facebook like egg.
I bet
Who is 16
you everybody out there
I'm
doesn't
gonna tell
know
you
what the
something.
hell
It was
we're
like-
talking about.
It was like in what was that television show? Who is A?
Pretty Little Liars.
Right.
All right, why don't you tell everybody how to share?
Absolutely. All right, well, that mystery might have not quite been solved so quickly for Brad, but the mystery of what is Brad Show Live can be solved right now. For all of you wonderful people, and more importantly, all of your amazing friends. The first thing that you want to do to help us out, because you love us so much and we provide so much delightful entertainment for you, is share the show. Share it to your friends. Share it to their friends. Share it to their friends' friends. Share it to your PE teacher from middle school that you haven't talked to since 1998. He would love to hear all about the amazing immigration advice that we're going to be dispensing right now. So share it as a private message. Hit that share button. Hit send it as a message. Go ahead and send it to that 7th grade PE teacher and any other maybe teachers or maybe colleagues that you haven't talked to in a while. Hit them up with this share right now. Or make sure that you start to join the Brad Squad. Become an official member of the family. The only way to do that is to join the Brad Show Live Brad Squad Facebook group. That's where we got crazy extra special content, little extra after the show situation. Yesterday I learned what bag juice was. Thank you to the squad.
What is that?
It's a juice. It's frozen juice in a bag and it looks
they kept
delicious.
on talking about it yesterday.
Yep. Now we know thanks to the Brad Squad.
Is it like Strongback?
No, it's literally like frozen fruit juice in a bag, and it looks delicious. I would stick a straw in that. Anyway, tell us how you drink your bag juice in the comments. Tell us all about what you think and feel. Also about what's going on with our calls, obviously, because you know we're going to have some crazy stuff and some crazy schmooze for you. Also, please, lastly but certainly not least, make sure that you've liked the page and hit that little bell right beside it so that absolutely every single time we go live, which is at a kind of nondescript time around 5:30, you'll get a notification. And Jonathan, on YouTube, what do we do?
On YouTube, first thing that we need you guys to do is subscribe. All right, now all you have to do is click on that little red rectangular button that says subscribe and also the bell right next to it so you can get a notification anytime we go live. Are we doing any more pop-ups?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
When we were doing pop-ups when you were away.
Yeah.
We actually started one of our pop-ups because when we do a pop-up, we never tell anybody when it's going to happen.
Right.
We just pop up. And we did it at a time when nobody there is not a human being in the world that would guess when we would start our pop-up.
Yeah.
And it was 5:30 on the dot. The only time we ever started Brad Show Live at the right time was on our pop-up.
I saw it and I was offended. I hit that bell so I get the notification when we go live.
Yes.
And I was like, and it was 11:30 p.m. in Belgium, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing on time?
On time. So how it works is when you guys press that little bell, you will get an actual notification on your phone. It literally comes up, it pops up saying Brad Show Live is on YouTube. So that's an amazing way to find out anytime we go on, or even anytime we upload a video. So we upload videos that you might need to see. A lot of videos on mandamus acts, of course, because we all know that we need to know about that, all right? So also, we definitely want you guys to throw all your social media questions in right now. And if it's not your social media questions, just talk to us. You guys have been tagging us about how you think we look good today, or how was our trips, or just talking about how your day was. So we love to hear about that because we love interaction in the comment section. And now, of course, we also want you guys to share. So we want you to share to your entire family, to your friends. Make sure you tell them what the show is about, all right? Don't just share it to them. Actually copy the link, send it to them, and tell them exactly what the show is about. If you guys meet anybody on the street, tell them about the show.
You know what you tell people? It's very simple. When you share, you say 3 words. This is all the only words you need to say. It's not going to be Brad Show Live. It's not going to say watch Dr. Yo-Yo. What you're going to say is knowledge is power.
Ooh.
Come back to me again. Yeah, come back to me again. Knowledge is power.
Ooh.
Correct.
That'll be for social media.
So that's what you tell them, all right?
That's right.
And also, last but not least, please, we have 101 watching right now. Woo! Please, everybody, throw a thumbs up on YouTube. On YouTube right now, throw a thumbs up. Everybody watching right now, at this very second. All right, now this is what you guys have been waiting for. This is when we schmooze with Brad.
All right, so you have like one of those weight belts that you wear to protect your back.
You want the Brad?
I need a Brad Show Live weight, back belt.
Oh gosh!
I have in my hand here the top 601 news stories of the day, pared down, by the way. Pared down from about 1,007.
Correct.
News stories of the day.
We felt like you needed a workout after paradise.
And when the show started, to tell you the truth, when the show started, they brought me in the news, and I made pretend, I don't know if you can see, and I went like this, oh, I can't pick it up, oh! But now we got the news, and in the top of the news, this is very serious, by the way, there is a whistleblower, who came out and has told the top spy agency investigator for the CIA, for the National Security Agency, that Donald Trump has done something that is against the United States of America in his dealings with a foreign leader. We don't know what it is, but it is a communication with a foreign leader, and it has triggered a tense showdown between the U.S. intelligence community and Congress and the White House. Now, Trump's interaction with the foreign leader included a promise that was regarded as so troubling that it prompted an official in the U.S. intelligence community to file a formal whistleblower complaint with the Inspector General for the intelligence community, speaking on the condition of anonymity because they were authorized not to discuss this in public.
Wow.
Now, let me explain. There is a law, There is a law out there that if you see corruption in the federal government, you are allowed to report it, and then an inspector, or you could even sue Trump yourself if you want to.
Right.
But you are allowed to report it, and then you can step into the shoes of if they come through and don't do anything with this investigation, this whistleblower could literally sue Donald Trump, come out and say what he did, and then whatever the damages are, you get like triple. Now, whistleblowers are there because for two reasons. One, they're encouraged to come forward because there is a monetary component to this. Okay, because you want to trump out corruption.
Right.
Now, my belief, I have no idea, by the way. Okay, but my belief, and there he is, Donald Trump, shaking Putin's hand. He also shaked Kim Jong-un's hand.
Right.
He shaked the hands of the Saudi prince. They all seem to be a little corruption going on here.
Very friendly.
I have no idea. Okay, just seems it because he wants to keep meeting people.
Right.
But now the President of the United States has full authority to conduct all foreign policy.
Right.
He can declassify anything he wants.
Right.
So if he has a picture of something that he wants to show Kim Jong-un, he can declassify it. There's nothing wrong with it because he has full authority to do whatever he wants with foreign policy. It's in the Constitution. What he can't do, and this is my opinion, what he can't do is self-deal. So what he can't do is make deals with Kim Jong-un and say, all right, we're going to make a deal on foreign policy. We're going to come to a treaty, but we're going to make a side deal and maybe we're going to build 10 Trump towers in North Korea. Or we're going to give you, Putin, the penthouse at Trump World Tower in Moscow if it was ever built. That was an old accusation. And that's self-dealing. And that's self-dealing for him to make money after he leaves office. My guess is that's what was happening, but nobody really knows for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
Now, the dispute has been escalated Thursday when the Inspector Atkinson was scheduled to appear today before the House Intelligence Committee, and the hearing is the latest move by Chairman Adam Schiff to compel U.S. intelligence officials to disclose the full details of the whistleblower complaint. The only thing we know for sure is that it is a complaint against Trump or somebody very, very, very close to Donald Trump. And we know that the White House is orchestrating in such a way to prevent this complaint from becoming public. If it is as bad as it seems, it could be impeachable.
Yeah.
It could very well be impeachable. Meanwhile, if you saw yesterday, and it was Jessica Leamy, you'll be very interested in this. Sharpie, what is Jessica Leamy called?
Sharpie King.
Sharpie King,
Yeah.
hashtag Sharpie King, went to the border wall. He went to the border wall to sign the border wall in Mexico with a Sharpie. Why is he doing this? Because on his website, he's selling Donald Trump Sharpie pens since the hurricane incident when he took the Sharpie and changed the direction of the hurricane. Remember the picture with the hurricane? It was supposed to go to he said it was going to Alabama, but it wasn't going anywhere near Alabama.
Right.
Well, since then he's been selling Sharpies on his website to make money for the Trump family. And now in a way to promote these Donald Trump Sharpies, of course he went on a publicity stunt down to the wall to go sign the wall with the Sharpie pen. Yes. This is the self-dealing that we deal with every day. And it's, by the way, it's $15 a Sharpie.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it is. It's a whopping $15. Trump campaign manager Brad Pascal tweeted on September 6th, the Friday morning after Sharpiegate began, buy the official Trump marker, which is different than any other marker on the market, because this one has the special ability to drive CNN and the rest of the fake news crazy. This is a very special marker. It's like Trump steaks. Very, very special.
We didn't get how much they sold. I want to know how much he sold.
What?
It
I
said
mean,
they-
Sharpie pens?
Mhm.
I don't know.
I literally don't. They're just. He's just trolling the American people
Right.
now. Like he's just trolling us.
Well, Trump said that after that first tweet, he's already sold a couple of hundred. So we don't know.
Wow.
Right. So we don't know. Meanwhile, talking about enriching yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. A federal court has now reinstated the case for the emoluments for Trump. Now, what emoluments is, it's a fancy word. Nobody ever heard of this before Donald Trump.
Right.
But in other words, you can't use your position as a federal public official to enrich yourself. And what Donald Trump is doing
Isn't that
is
what
he's
he's
telling,
doing?
of course it is. What he's doing is he's having foreign officials, foreign dignitaries, airmen who go shuttle between the United States and Saudi Arabia. They got to stop in England to stay at his hotel.
Right.
The sort in Scotland. The Saudi princes who take over floors of Trump International in Washington D.C. All to enrich Donald Trump.
Right.
Now, the case was originally brought by Trump's business rivals in New York, but was dismissed by a lower-level federal judge in December 2017. Trump has been accused of a range of conflicts, including encouraging foreign dignitaries, just like I said, and U.S. service members to stay at his hotel. The Fourth Circuit dismissed a suit brought by the Attorneys General of Maryland and the District of Columbia in July. A separate lawsuit from congressional Democrats is also on the way. Trump claims that he made at least $434 million last year from his businesses.
Wow.
Now, what's interesting is that most of his businesses are in real estate, and what did he cut taxes most? Real estate transactions.
Right.
Okay, so he cut the taxes in a way that he pays the least amount of taxes of any billionaire real estate people. And the only ones right behind them, the hedge fund people.
Right.
You know who pays full taxes?
The middle
The
class.
poor,
The
too.
poor, the lawyers, the doctors. Doctors pay full. Lawyers
Yeah.
pay
That's
full.
crazy.
Middle class
The people
pays
that
full.
actually help people
Right, yeah. Unbelievable.
that you need.
Meanwhile, the New York District Attorney
What sense does that
has subpoenaed Donald Trump's taxes from an accounting firm that he has used. The reason they're doing that is they are now looking into the payments of Michael Cohen to Stormy Daniels, that $120,000. They want to see his tax returns. Now, Trump has sued both the district attorney for the New York State as well as the accounting firm to prevent those tax returns from being shown.
Right.
There is no question that when we see his tax returns, it's game over.
Yeah.
He is fighting tooth and nail that nobody should see his tax returns. It's either because he's an absolute fraud because he's not as rich as he says he is, or he's an absolute fraud because he's cheating on his taxes.
I think it's cheating on his
He's of
taxes.
course cheating, because there have been plenty of times where he has been caught in an out-and-out lie and is happy to spin it into, I didn't lie, it was this and it was this. This has got to be a criminal issue.
Meanwhile, a new report has come out that gun violence in America costs the United States of America, the economy, $229 billion per year. It's for the first time in 2017, the rate of firearm deaths surpassed the rate of deaths resulting from car accidents.
Wow.
The report noted that nearly 40,000 people were killed by firearms in 2017, which included 2,500 school-aged children. Can you imagine you can't make it to 18 years old in America these days? 60% of the shooting deaths were suicides. About 1,000 fewer people died in motor vehicle traffic accidents. The impact on the U.S. economy was so substantial. Gun violence removes $229 billion from potential economic activity, about 1.4% of annual gross domestic product. Rural communities, which is interesting because those are the most pro-NRA.
Right.
Rural communities suffer the greatest economic harm from gun violence, according to reports. States like Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and West Virginia. Huge Trump blocks of voters.
Absolutely.
They suffer the greatest economic harm. They're hurting themselves.
Right.
Not only killing themselves, but they're hurting themselves as well.
Yeah.
Moreover, states that have the highest rate of gun ownership, such as Alaska, Idaho, and Montana, were found to also have the highest rate of suicide. Why?
Wow.
Because you give somebody an easy tool to kill themselves. Not to say that people are crazier in those states and they're going to kill themselves more.
Yeah.
It's just they have easy access to
easy
guns.
access, right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So and it's the same, goes to the same story all the time, which is, Trump and the NRA says it's all the crazy people. We just have to figure out who's crazy and not give them guns. No, you're giving people tools to go kill people. You don't know who's crazy, who's not crazy. And if there were no guns, then there would be no school shooters.
Right.
Of course.
The best you would get is a brick thrower at a
That's what
school.
I'm about to say, throwing rocks.
Throwing rocks.
Right.
And that's like how it was back in the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
You threw a rock at a kid.
And I have to say, I watched the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, which, by the way, was hilarious.
Amazing.
I haven't seen it.
If anybody wants to see it. But he had the best idea for gun control. And he says, all black people out there, Go buy guns.
There you go.
All right, because I am telling you.
Yeah.
I am telling you, once black people start shooting white people, all of a sudden,
it's a wrap.
All of a sudden, that's a wrap. No more guns.
That's it. I mean,
right? There will be no more guns. There will be no more guns.
Look how Black Panther literally scared the bejesus out of white people, to where they had to, end it.
That's
right.
right.
So that's what you got to do.
By the way, Ronald Reagan, when he was governor of California in 1969. And he is the star conservative. Everybody wants to be Ronald Reagan. Now they want to be Donald Trump, conservatives. Right. But everybody wanted to be Ronald Reagan. He was the champion of guns and Wild West, and he was the cowboy with the hat.
Right.
He in 1969, at the time, signed the most stringent gun control laws in California. Why? Because because minorities, and he called them gangs. Right. But basically, it was minorities. Had too many guns.
Yeah.
Now it's white people have too many guns, and now they say that's okay.
Right. And
it's really a racial thing.
It's totally an us versus us. Don't take our guns. Don't take our guns. Black people, take their guns. Take their guns. Take them.
When they probably are the ones who put it in the neighborhood, just like they put the drugs in the neighborhood too.
Now apparently, there's not apparently, it is happening right now. There is a new PSA out from Sandy Hook Promise. It's a group. Gosh. It's a group that is promoting gun safety, the end of school gun violence and shootings. And if you remember, Sandy Hook was that elementary school in Connecticut. It was about 10 years ago.
That was a big.
That was a bad one. Where the kid who lived in the basement took the mother's guns, and he had autism or Asperger's or something. Yeah. And he was mentally ill, and he went to the school and shot up the school full of kindergartners, 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds.
I remember that.
So in this PSA called "Back to School Essentials," young students breezily show off their new school supplies before the tone veers into something much darker. A boy marveling over his new sneakers is running down the hallway, not to dodge a hall monitor, but a gunman. The ad reflects a grim reality for the network of survivors from the more than 228,000 students. 228,000 students who have been part of a school shooting since the massacre at Columbine High School in 1999. Let's watch.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver. And I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
All right, so Back to School debuted on NBC during the Wednesday morning broadcast of the Today Show, alongside an interview with Sandy Hook Promise co-founder Nicole Hockley. Hockley's 6-year-old son, Dylan, was among the 20 children and 6 adults who were killed in the December 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook. The ad's final scene, where a young girl has to huddle in a bathroom stall to text her mom, "I love you," as she hides from a gunman. We don't want people to turn away from it, so pretending it doesn't exist is not going to solve it. Is that what we just saw, Kim? Yeah. Because everybody was talking over it, so I didn't hear what was said there.
Yeah, that was parts of it. So it shows the video is really graphic. It shows kids using socks as tourniquets, and
unfortunately,
everybody
was talking over it, so I didn't hear what.
Well, we wanted to make sure we have a graphic warning for that.
All right. Meanwhile, you know what? This is weird. A designer is actually selling hoodies with bullet holes and school names like Parkland and Sandy Hook.
This is insane.
Yeah, the company Bstroy debuted hoodies riddled with bullet holes and bearing names like Sandy Hook, Columbine, and Parkland in its spring 2020 menswear collection. Typically, Bstroy hoodies retail between $250 and $410. These are expensive. Have you heard of this company before?
This is disgusting to me.
Right.
Now, the collection received instant backlash online. Fred Gutenberg, whose daughter was killed in the Parkland shooting in February 2018, tweeted, "Under what scenario could someone think this was a good idea? This has me so upset."
Who made this?
It's called Bstroy hoodies. Now,
what?
At Sean Sherlock said, "My 14-year-old fashionista niece was murdered in Parkland.
Wow.
She was a professional illustrator and aspired to be a clothing designer like you. You should be ashamed of taking advantage of her death to make money. Today, I proudly wear her designs."
That is disgusting.
No word on how what this company was doing. They have not responded to anything.
That's so gross.
Oh, they have. Right.
Ooh.
My apologies. Brick Owens, one of the company's founders, tried to defend it There is a defense of this. He says, sometimes life can be painfully ironic, like the irony of dying violently in a place you consider to be a safe, controlled environment like a school. We're reminded all the time of life's fragility, shortness, and unpredictability, yet we are also reminded of its infinite potential. That sounds like just a bunch of bullshit, and they're just trying to make money off of people's pain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does not in any way. Who is this going to benefit? I don't understand.
And finally, we talked about this about 6 months ago or 9 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was, if you remember, there was some unidentified flying objects that the Navy planes claimed that they saw off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We talked about this about 6-9 months ago, and the Navy pilots came out and they said they saw some objects in the sky, and they released a video of it. And these objects that were flying in the sky moved at a rate of speed and changed angles that has never been seen on this Earth. That aerodynamically, we cannot duplicate that on Earth.
Not possible.
And the U.S. Navy, the U.S. military didn't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was released as part of a Freedom of Information Act request because the Navy pilots were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say anything about it. They said maybe it could have been a weather disturbance. Maybe they didn't really see anything. Well, now, finally,
What?
the U.S. Navy has acknowledged that what was seen is an unidentified flying object.
Really?
They don't know what it is. That's why they're calling it unidentified flying object.
That was it?
Yes. The objects seen in 3 clips of these declassified military footage, they are unidentified aerial phenomena. Navy spokesperson Joe Gradisher confirmed to reporters. The clips released between December 2017 and March 2018. We talked about this.
We did.
By the Stars
I don't
Academy
remember.
of Arts and Sciences appear to show fast-moving, oblong objects captured by advanced infrared sensors. If you don't remember, you got to listen more, Yo-Yo.
No, I wasn't
Footage of
here
this
because
one,
I
look
would
at
have
that.
talked. Wait,
Yes.
what is that?
And that's the unidentified
that's it.
flying object.
Wait, can we look at these subtitles for a second?
I've never seen that.
Yes, you have.
No, I was not here for that
You
because I
were.
would have talked about
You
how
are.
I
You know what,
watched.
Dr. Yo-Yo? Unless it has to do with love, you're not listening.
No, I'm listening now. Wow.
Now, we're going to play it one more time. Let's play it one more time.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man. Look at it fly.
I didn't see anything
2 of the
there.
videos, both from 2015, contain this audio from the U.S. fighter pilots attempting to make sense of what they're seeing. Now, Gradisher says this is all about frequent incursions into our training ranges by unidentified aerial phenomena. These incursions present a safety hazard to the safe flight of our aviators and the security of our operations. So he is telling the aliens, please stay out of our training areas.
Right.
He basically made an announcement to the
Sir,
aliens.
listen-
Would you believe that the U.S. Navy just made an announcement to the aliens? We don't know who you are, but you're really causing a safety issue. Can you please do your unidentified flying objects where you're supposed to be flying, like at trailer parks and other areas where people are not going to believe that anyone got abducted?
Listen, I would not play with this type of stuff. So I was watching, I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary on Netflix called Unacknowledged.
No.
So it's basically about this extraterrestrial life
I
and
got
all
10
that.
seasons of Ancient Aliens under my belt. We can go.
Yeah,
We can do
so
this.
so like
Crazy.
the fact that they are far more like ahead of us in like technology, and if they really wanted to shut ish down, they could do it
How
like
do you know that the aliens are further ahead in technology?
Because if
they're
you-
here.
How do you know they're here?
So Area 51, like
How do you
that.
know they're here?
Watch
Well, you're watching
Unacknowledged.
too much Men in Black.
No, watch Unacknowledged. Watch Unacknowledged on
Maybe
Netflix.
you watch Men in Black 2 also.
There were people, listen, just like these people saw something, they were people, older white men especially, that had seen objects come down and they said what the aliens or whatever extraterrestrial things look like. 7 feet tall black people with long arms and 4 fingers. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to mess with these aliens.
7 foot tall black people.
That's what it looked like.
With 4 fingers.
Long arms.
Basically, it was Shaquille O'Neal missing a thumb. That's basically how they were described.
Somebody took drugs and met Dennis Rodman.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
I don't play
Dennis
with it.
Rodman came out of the helicopter and he ran minutes.
And that's true. He does look like an alien.
All right.
I will say, I don't know about 7-foot-tall black people with long arms, but if aliens are here, Brad, they're obviously more advanced than us, because have you ever seen us go to another alien planet? No.
There you go.
Yeah, but my thing is this, okay? My thing is this with aliens.
Yeah.
Okay? They were so smart,
Yeah.
okay? They were so smart. Why they always go into the most remote place in the world to go find the dumbest person in the world to go abduct? Why don't they just come right here on Broadway, drop down their spaceship right in front of our building? Everybody can see them. They're CNN.
They don't want
and
no
say
problems.
hello.
All right, I'm
They
going to
don't
go
want
ahead and say
problems.
this at the risk of sounding like a crazy person.
Go ahead.
I have seen first-hand footage of like the person who shot this footage over JFK Airport in this city, and I swear to God, those lights are not anything we know to fall.
That, Kim.
In fact,
Kim,
over
where
New
can
York
I see
City
it?
in the middle of the day.
Kim,
Is there a video?
Kim,
I
Can I
have
see
it.
it?
Kim, let me explain something to you.
I want to see it.
Tell me.
Okay, you obviously don't know what a weather balloon is.
There were 3 weather balloons that
obviously-
were moving at
you
30,000
ob-
feet
you
in
ob-
crazy different.
You have obviously no idea what a weather balloon looks like, because that's what you were looking at.
Frame by frame and expanded,
Yes.
Brad. It
I
was
really
a
want to
thing.
know, Brad Squad, what you guys think. Do you guys
they
feel
all
like
think they're here.
Do you guys?
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
do. Thank you,
Because
Squad.
think about it. We're Earth. All right.
The
Think of the
only
Milky Way.
By the way, Carol Anderson
There's
the
like
Tiger.
millions of planets.
Carol says they should just come right down on Fifth Avenue and show themselves. All right, I want to see. I want to
not
see
the
this. I
plan.
want to see Four-Fingered Dennis Rodman come out. Let's see what he has to say.
I really
Right?
want you to watch the
I
documentary.
want to see Four-Fingered Dennis
Unacknowledged.
Rodman. You know what? If I see Four-Fingered Dennis
Netflix.
Rodman, I'm going to tell him to go speak to Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
Go make some peace.
That part.
All right.
Right.
All right.
Carolina
Why don't we,
Tiger doesn't
why don't
think
we go
so.
tell everyone to share while I get ready to answer some immigration questions?
All right, the show.
That's what the show's about, right?
Share it to the aliens.
Yeah.
Everybody, share it to the aliens.
Share across the galaxies.
All right, everybody on Facebook, please, as you can see, we're
Right.
going crazy.
By
here.
the way, Julian says, why do they always go to the cornfields? That's what I'm saying. Why are they always going to the cornfields and they find the dumbest farmer in the world?
Now-
You know, some guy with a pitchfork who has no brain, and that's the guy who's on. And they must go back to their leader and go, these humans are really stupid. Because
Right.
they
'Cause they go to the dumbest
They find
ones.
the dumbest ones.
Do not believe in crop.
Well, I know you guys aren't dumb, so show me how not dumb you are by sharing, okay? Now listen to how you guys share. Just click that little arrow that says share and share it to anybody's page, share it to private pages, share it to groups, any groups that have anything to do with immigration, international culture, all right? Just share it to those groups and, of course, an inbox group as well. And you guys already know how to start a watch party, all right? Let everybody know how crazy we are. We do this for you guys, all right? Like, we talk about aliens, we talk about all these news, we schmooze, we do this for you. So all you have to do for us is share and start a watch party. That sends a ding notification to your entire friends list. And if you don't know how to do it, I'm telling you right now, it's so easy. Click on the little arrow that says share. Go a couple options down and it says host a watch party, start a watch party. So make sure you guys do that. Now also put all of your social media questions in the comment section right now. You guys know we don't always get to every one of them. So I need you guys to put it in right now, all right? What are they saying?
Somebody by the name of Belgium Kim says every bodega owner on my block is definitely an extraterrestrial.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what you're saying anymore, Belgium Kim.
Well, because Mark took out, Grandma said I don't think I believe in them, but I have seen some strange looking people. And I was like, I know for a fact that every single bodega owner on my block is definitely an alien.
There you go.
100%.
All right, and what are we gonna do on YouTube?
On YouTube, make sure that the first thing that you do is subscribe, family, and hit that little bell. Because if you don't hit that bell, what happens? Then you just don't know when we go live. What are you gonna do? Like open YouTube at 5:30 on the dot every day and see that we're not yet there because we're not yet ready.
Right.
So don't do that. You don't have to do that. Go on about your day, go on about your business, but make sure you hit that bell so that your phone does a little whenever we go live.
What sound does it do?
It's a weird phone sound. If that's your phone sound, change it up. If it's not, cut this clip out and you can save it as your.
I like that.
You're so welcome. Also, make sure that if you haven't done so, leave your immigration questions in the comments right this second because they get asked first come, first serve. And if you wait until we start asking them, I can guarantee you will not hear your answer. Also, make sure that you are absolutely hitting that thumbs up. We feel real good. We feel validated. It's the easiest way to give us an ego boost, and we're feeling a little crazy today. So hit that thumbs up right now.
By the way, Jumpin' Drew is telling us that he is a resident alien. And he wants to know if he's married to a citizen, can he file for siblings?
Different alien.
And Antoine Bent very cleverly says, wrong time to say you're an alien.
Right. Different.
100%. Context matters. Context matters. And now is the time you've all been waiting for. I didn't know if this was right. You've all been waiting for it.
Go ahead.
It's getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, let's go to Calvin. Calvin's been waiting over an hour. Calvin, you there?
Yeah, hello, Brad. How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
Good, man. Brad, first of all, I just want to commend you guys. You guys are doing awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, like I say, I'm from Africa. Like we say back home in Africa, the world's going to be in heaven.
Oh, wow. Wow, very nice, Calvin. I hope I can help you.
Yeah.
You guys are
good news.
Man watches us, thinks he's in heaven. Wow.
Right.
Thank you. All right, what's going on?
Yeah, I got two questions for you, please.
Yes.
So one, I have a pending VAWA case, but I got all my receipt notices, but I'm actually on my final process of my divorce right now with my ex-wife right now. So I wanted to find out, can I still get remarried even when my VAWA case is still pending?
Yes. You can still get married even though your VAWA case is still pending. Just your ex-wife, your new wife, can't file for you until your VAWA case is resolved, one way or the other.
Yeah, my new wife she is a permanent resident.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely get married. It has no effect on your VAWA.
Okay, so I don't have any issue with that, right?
No, nope.
Okay, cool.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Okay, enjoy.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your marriage.
Thank you.
Enjoy your new wife. Enjoy
Okay,
LA.
thank you, sir.
But you're not in LA. Dallas, Texas. He's in Dallas, Texas. Where in Africa are you from, Calvin?
Huh?
Where in Africa are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
I knew
Nigeria.
it. I knew it.
That's right. Your brother, Yo-Yo, or
He's
half
my
brother.
brother. I know. My dad is Nigerian.
Yeah. Yo-Yo's dad's Nigerian.
Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
There you go.
What do you say? Nigeria's what of Africa?
Is the giant of Africa.
The giant.
The giant of
the
Africa.
Nigerian, the African giant. That's Burna Boy.
All right,
Calvin Burna Boy. I know what you're talking about.
All right, Calvin. Thanks for calling, Calvin. Good luck on the marriage.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome. All right. Let's go to Maxine in the Bronx. Maxine.
Hi. So my brother filed his I-485 last September, and they sent him a courtesy letter saying that he didn't send in his I-69-3 and said that he shouldn't send it until he gets his interview date. But his interview date's been pending since March 5th. So should he wait to file it or not?
Well, if you're talking about the medical, and you gotta follow what they tell you to do. They say bring it to the interview. You bring it to the interview. All right. So don't think that anything has changed since then. They're not scheduling him an interview not because he didn't submit his medical. It's just they're delaying everybody. You have two choices. If you have filed an adjustment application anywhere in the United States of America, and your case is pending more than 12 months, you have two choices. You can, and it has nothing to do with the medical. You bring the medical at the time of the interview. But in terms of your choices now, because he's at 12 months waiting for his adjustment, you can sit on your hands and wait for them to schedule, and maybe he'll be scheduled next week, next month, in a year or 2 years, who knows? Or you can file a mandamus and he'll be scheduled in 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, thanks. And one more thing. Is he able to file the I-130 for his daughter at the moment, or should he wait?
How old is his daughter?
9 years old.
Okay, his wife can file the I-130 for the daughter, not him.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Abdul in Baltimore. Abdul. Isn't it great to just kind of peek in on what people are doing?
Eavesdrop?
Eavesdrop.
Abdul!
Let's just eavesdrop on what's going on.
Abdul!
Anything exciting going on in there in the house of Abdul right now?
I can't hear anything. Someone hand me a cup or a tin.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I got nothing too. There's nothing exciting going on. Let's go to Vonnie in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yes, hello.
How are you, Vonnie?
I'm doing good. Thanks for taking my call.
Were you listening to a polka dance?
Say that again.
Are you listening to polka music?
No, my son is actually listening to it.
Oh!
Okay, I'm a winner.
I'm like Vonnie. I don't know anybody who listens to polka music anymore unless you're in a beer garden.
Don't you start. You heard that.
All right, what's going on?
No, but I got a question though. Is it possible to have two I-765 with immigration? And the reason why I ask that, currently I have a work authorization through my pending exam, and it expires the end of October. Now, my wife has filed in for me the I-130, the I-485, the I-765 under the green card application.
Right, C9.
But and she just filed that in. I've done my biometric, everything. So she just did that last month. I've done my biometric. But my work authorization under my asylum expires the end of October. And I know that it's going to take between 3 to 6 months. I was looking at the processing time on the immigration website. Is it possible to go ahead and file in another I-765 under my expiring asylum so that I will get the automatic 6 months of renewal?
Well, you're going to get the automatic 6 months of renewal anyway, because you've already had a work permit. So my position is that you're entitled to work anyway because you're renewing a work permit, but just literally under a different section of law. And you have to withdraw the asylum case, and you have 180 days. As long as you bring in a receipt to your employer and say, here's my receipt for my work authorization, under the law, you're entitled to work an extra 180 days, and you withdraw the asylum case because you can't get through on adjustment until your asylum is withdrawn.
Okay. So as it is right now. I should just wait until my work authorization under my asylum expires next month, or should I go ahead and submit on I-765 under the asylum?
No, I know what you want to do, but once you file an adjustment, that's the end of the asylum. So you got to withdraw the asylum. We got to withdraw it because your adjustment's going to be denied otherwise. Withdraw the asylum. You have a receipt notice for the I-765 on the marriage case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is your extension for 180 days.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. I have a receipt. So then, how do I withdraw the asylum? Should I just write them?
You write them a letter. You write them a letter and tell them you filed an adjustment. You're withdrawing the asylum.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to Abdul. Abdul.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
I hear you. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The line went off the last time.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, I've been a regular caller of your show. You've been very helpful to me throughout my immigration proceeding. You've been very helpful. You saved me a lot of money anyway.
Oh, wow. I saved Abdul a lot of money just from listening.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it, man. Yeah.
Yes. So this is my question. I'm at the end of my journey. I'm having my M400 interview in a month's time, and I filed in my I-751 last year, February. I did my fingerprint in April, but as of today, I've not gotten any information. It's not been updated. It just stays on fingerprint, but I'm scheduled for M400 interview now. So I don't know, what do you think is happening? I don't know why.
Go on your interview. They have to make a decision within 120 days of your interview. If not, you bring it into federal court. That's exactly what you do. Don't worry about what's on the computer. They got to. You go on your interview. You qualify for citizenship. They got to make a decision in 120 days. If they don't, you bring them into federal court on a de novo review. That is the only thing you got to think about.
Okay, but people keep saying that they might have a combo interview or something like that.
Oh, because you're also removing the I-751? I didn't hear that part.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, they're going to have a combo interview. Absolutely.
Oh, so they're gonna have it. So I should be prepared for combo interview.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I'm concerned about.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you also had an I-751 pending.
Yeah, it's still pending.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Valerie in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Valerie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Okay. My question is, my husband is have a green card. He's been living here for 6 years now. I got mine from him.
Okay.
And last time we have an argument, and he punched me in my eyes, and I had a bruise.
Right.
And I went to the police station, and then I was crying and everything, and I told them that he punched me, and they made a police report. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. They made a police report, and they took some pictures, and they asked me if he'd done that before, and I said yeah, and I said that he also
Did he get
me.
convicted of domestic violence?
Yeah.
He's going to get deported.
For assault. Yeah, I
He's
know.
gonna get
For
deported.
assault and battery and
But he
mutilation.
deserves. But honestly, okay, nobody deserves to be in an abusive relationship. Nobody deserves to be hit or punched. So I don't feel so terrible for the guy.
I understand that, but also I'm not gonna press charge. I don't know if that's gonna make any difference.
No,
I don't know.
It won't make a difference because the district attorney can still prove the case with your police report and the pictures by the cops. Okay, because it's not you pressing charges, it is the people of the state of Massachusetts, because that's where you live, who are pressing the charges. Now, the district attorney may have a harder time proving the case if they need your testimony about what happened, but they can move ahead with the case, with or without you. So it's not like you could say, I'm going to drop the charges and now he won't get deported, or now he won't be found guilty of something. Yeah.
I'm not gonna testify, but I know they can move forward without that.
And by the way, they can threaten you with criminal contempt of court or filing false police reports or all sorts of things if you don't, cooperate with them. So the district attorneys can do things to force you to testify as well. What I would suggest you do, Valerie, because this is really a criminal case right now. You're the victim in a criminal case, and you also have a family issue between you and your spouse, and you're concerned about. I think this is something that goes well beyond a public conversation. I think you need to speak to an attorney privately.
I need to do what?
I think you need to speak to an attorney privately. This goes beyond a public conversation. You need attorney-client privileged conversation at this point.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to Yvette in Newark, New Jersey. Yvette.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Good. What's going on?
I had my I-130 filed in 2015, and it was approved. So I did the adjustment of status paperwork in 2016. And I had an interview of May 2017. But because of my spouse, was very abusive and stuff, I went into the interview by myself, and the officer was kind enough to reschedule.
Did you ever file a VAWA case?
Yeah, when I went back, I did the VAWA.
Okay.
I went back in a second time, and I did the VAWA in September 2017. And now this month, in July, it has been approved.
Good.
And I have my daughter as a derivative. At the point when I did the paperwork, she was 17, but now she's 21. Will there be a problem with her age? Do she need to file on her own?
No. She'll still be included.
What are the next steps?
She'll still be included.
Okay. And are we considered still what is it, F2A or F2B?
No.
Do I have to wait for a priority date?
No. She's going to be derivative on your case.
Okay.
So she's fine.
All right.
All right.
So what I'm saying is, since I have a priority date of October 2015, do I need to wait until that date is available, or am I immediate family?
Is your husband a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
No, your immediate relative. That's why when it was filed in 2015, your daughter's age was frozen. She was under 21 at the time, so she's fine.
Okay.
All right.
How long do you think I need to wait, or do I need to take any?
You need to file an adjustment, and I would do it immediately because I don't even know if I was going to be around next month.
No, I have a pending adjustment of status.
Okay, so then
I have that.
Yeah, all the VAWA cases are on hold pending on what's going to happen with Congress.
Ah, okay.
All right, so just hang in there.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Sumit in Atlanta, Georgia. Sumit.
Hey, hi, Brad.
How are you?
Hi, Belgium Kim. Hi, Jonathan Yo-Yo.
Hey, Sumit.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit happy today because last time I called you was to know about my EAD. So I did a little research, and what I did was I kind of, what do you say, like expedited my EAD because I got offer letter for working. And I just thought of like expedited to congressman, and that got approved. Like within 4 days, they just replied, and my EAD got approved, and I got in hand, which was like June 17th.
Good.
And kind of because I expedited this thing, my interview got scheduled like very soon after that. My interview was like 29th of August.
Right.
And I attended interview, and we are in same-sex marriage, so that interview got approved, and I've already got my green card for 2 years. I just thought I'll let you know because your show has helped me a lot, so
thank you.
I kind of felt like I need to inform you.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. It actually makes me feel really good that you watch my show, you take my advice, you do what you need to do, and you went through it, and I helped somebody that I have never met before in my life. And you're better off for it. So I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you taking the time to call. And congratulations to you. You deserve it.
Yeah, I felt like I need to do this. So, yeah, that's the reason I'm calling you. And, yeah, your show is best. You have no idea how much it has helped me through this 9 months of period when I have filed my application. So, yeah, you helped me a lot in a way.
Well, Sumit, just please spread the word. Tell everybody because I can help so many people. Okay,
Yes.
This show's like a tree that falls in the forest. If nobody knows about it, then I can't help them.
Well,
Okay?
true.
So
true.
please tell everybody.
And I kind of invite you all here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have like a nice house, so you guys can come and I mean, I can show you around.
I'm going to tell you something. How many beds do you have? Because we come in bulk. We have about 15 people we could show up
Well,
with.
I have like
Can you handle 15 people?
Bed well, I have not like 15 bedroom apartment. I mean, I live in a house, so it's like 4 bedrooms.
Okay,
so.
well,
We got it.
all right. So
we can sleep on a couch.
Well, I'll take one bedroom, and everyone else can share the other bedroom.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And
I just need a private bedroom. That's all. I don't want to share a bedroom with anybody.
It'll be a private bedroom and then another bedroom with the other 9 of us.
Yes, exactly.
Spooning.
Yeah.
Where all the fun will be.
If you all follow Stranger Things or not, but Stranger Things was actually shot in our house.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Oh, you're like a celebrity.
Wait, which house?
You're a bigger celebrity than Dr. Yo-Yo.
Yeah, wait.
How did that happen?
Sumi, which house is your house on Stranger Things?
Well, Justin's house, Henderson Home.
Dustin's house?
Get out of here.
Amazing.
You're not Dustin's
we
house.
are so coming down.
Is that like a sick house, right?
Yeah, he's like
a
he's
sick
one
house.
of the main
I'm going
characters.
right now.
Jonathan's on his way to Atlanta.
I'm on my way, Sunit.
Jonathan's on his way to Atlanta.
He's my, trust me, he's my favorite character. So yeah, I love this house more since I've known this. And yeah, that's the reason I'm welcoming you all here.
Can
I'm
we
inviting you all here.
Wow.
Get Sumit's information.
Will you slide up in my Belgium Kim TV DM so we can see if we can
We're
make
coming
something
down.
happen?
All
'Cause
right,
we wanna come
now
down.
that we know that you're not just some general home.
Right.
We just know it's like a general house.
I'm following you all on Instagram, so I'll make sure that I
Follow
share
me,
pictures of this
Sumit.
house.
Yes.
DM us right now.
All right, Sumi. Thanks for calling and congratulations.
That's
And
amazing.
Maybe we'll take you up on it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, take care.
Aw.
All right.
That's so nice.
Oh man,
That's so
Stranger
nice.
Things house. Maybe some strange things would happen in there. You think there would be
Awesome.
I thought that's what he was saying at first when we were like all 9 of us is gonna be in one bedroom. He was like, "Stranger Things have happened." I was like, "No."
Yeah, like Stranger Things
No, his house was used in Stranger Things, y'all.
That's amazing.
The Duffer Brothers.
That's amazing.
That's
Let's
awesome.
go to Suzanne in Birmingham, Alabama. Suzanne,
Hello.
how are you?
Oh, not good.
What's going on?
I got married before the 90 days. I never know anything about it.
Right.
So I'm wondering what I should do. If I should go ahead and file for my papers.
Yes, you got no choice because you already did it. Go file for your papers and just know we're going to need to do a good waiver, and you're going to need to have a good lawyer.
What kind of waiver?
You need a waiver because if you get married within the first 90 days of your entry into the United States of America, that's a misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is synonym for lie. You lied. You said you were coming to visit and you got married and you want to get a green card. So now that is a reason to deny your green card. So what you do is you show up with a waiver. I would like to waive the section of law that says I get denied. And you do it based on hardship to your spouse, hardship to your family that's here, your parents, if you have parents here, that they would suffer an extreme and unusual hardship if you were not granted your green card and you got deported and had to go home.
Oh, so could I like let you handle the case for me?
Yes, hold on one second. That's the point I'm trying to make. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Wu in Dallas, Texas. Dallas is in the house today. Very representing. Dallas is representing today. Woo!
I was about to say, I heard that it's like flooding in Houston.
Flooding in Houston, it is.
Oh, no.
But this is Dallas.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yo, what's going on? This is Yo Fam.
Who is this?
Yo Fam. Can you guys hear me?
Who?
Yo Sam.
Yo Fam.
Yo Fam.
Oh, Yo Fam.
Yo
Yo Fam.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yo Fam.
What's going on?
Not bad, not bad. I filed I-485 for my wife in April, and she's on a K-1 visa, and we're in September right now. We was expecting for the EAD, and also what's the advanced parole.
Right.
But we ended up getting an RFE stating that she abandoned the 131 by leaving the country, but she's been here the entire time.
So they think she left and she didn't.
Correct.
All right. So then they're going to deny her adjustment too because they're going to say she left when she didn't. So you're going to need to have a lawyer take a look at this and prove that she's been here this whole time.
Okay. My lawyer was saying something along the line. I just want to get a second thought.
Sure.
Like to, take a few pictures at the United States government, U.S. Postal Services, and things of that nature.
Well, that's pictures to prove it's a bona fide marriage. I mean, and you should be taking pictures as you go through life. But what we're going to have to prove is that she was physically here all this time. That's going to be done by affidavits. You can't take pictures in the past. So we got to, prove she never left. They made a mistake.
No. I mean, we have a list of pictures.
Yeah, but in other words, taking a picture at the post office tomorrow doesn't prove she left yesterday. The government says she left yesterday, so we got to go in the past. You can't make that up, so we just got to prove it.
So I know you always talk about mandamus. Is not the right time to file one of those, or
not yet. But in this particular case, it would if we were to file a lawsuit, it would be an APA claim that they're not following their own procedures. But we first have to prove your wife didn't leave the country because they have evidence that she did. So we got to find out what is that evidence that she left, and then we gotta counter it.
Oh, okay. Because I was just confused because I'm like, they can track the I-94 and things of that nature, and it's just a bummer because
I don't know what evidence they have. If she leaves the country, in other words, they are correct in the assumption that if she did leave the country, that's the end of her K visa, that's the end of your adjustment. She's ineligible for everything. But if she didn't leave, we just got to prove it. But before that, they got to come and say she left and this is the evidence that they have. I don't know what evidence they have, so we would have to take a look at it and see. So hold on one second. If you want a second opinion, you probably need a consultation, so hold on.
All right, no problem.
Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go to Giselle in Hartford, Connecticut. Giselle. All right, we'll come back to Giselle. Let's go to Romelia in the Bronx. Romelia.
Hello.
Oh, it was Romalia. There's no such person as Romelia. It's Romalia. Romalia, how are you? What's going on?
I'm fine, and you? I have a big something to tell you. I came here in 2017 on a J1 visa, and I got married June 21st of this year, but I lost my DS 2019.
Okay.
And I want to adjust my status, but they say that I have to do a waiver, a J1 waiver.
Do you have a 2-year home residence requirement?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then, before you file the adjustment, don't even bother filing the adjustment. You need to do a waiver of the 2-year home residence requirement first.
But my question is, I lost my DS, and the company that sponsored me is shut down, so I have no way of getting back my DS. How can I go about doing that?
Well, the sponsoring company shut down?
Yeah, the sponsoring company shut down.
Well, we can always do a Freedom of Information Act request and get a copy of it. It's not the end of the world, but that's very surprising that the sponsoring company would shut down. But hold on one second, okay? Because usually companies go through a third party to get it, and they don't really generally do it themselves. So, but hold on one second, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, because you have, in other words, when you do a J visa, the company has to be pre-approved by USCIS to do a J visa.
Yeah.
Spar and Bernstein. Let me tell you, I've never done a J visa for anybody in my office. Nobody ever worked here on a J visa. But let's say I wanted to do a J visa. I'm not pre-approved. Spar and Bernstein's not pre-approved to do a J visa. I would have to go through a third company that's pre-approved. And then they would be the sponsor to come do the internship or whatever program at Spar and Bernstein. That's generally how it works. So it's very rare that the place where you worked on the J was also the J sponsor for the DS. But if it was, it was. Okay, I don't know. All right, but we'll get either way. We'll do it for you and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second. Let's go back to Giselle in Hartford. Giselle.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Yes, I've been a permanent resident holder pretty much all my life, and I want to file I think it's the N400.
Yes.
Would owing student loans or like speeding tickets within the past 5 years affect anything?
Student loans does not affect. Speeding tickets do not affect unless you actually got arrested and brought down and fingerprinted and everything.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. Being a bad driver does not prevent you from becoming a citizen. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
And having debt doesn't prevent you from becoming a citizen. All right.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. All right. Let's go to Judine in Queens. Judine.
Yes. Hi, Brad.
How are you doing?
Good day. I'm good. Thanks. So, my question to you is, when you're filing the adjustment of status, in order to, when you don't have any bills to show that you and your spouse are paying bills together, you have to get a letter from the landlord. But we don't have a good relationship with our landlord. Is it good for us to write a letter by ourselves?
Well, I mean, if you pay the landlord a check, you could say, "Here's your rent check." But before I give it, just sign the stuff.
We don't have.
Prepare a letter.
We don't have our name.
So just
we don't have both names on it.
So fine, just prepare a letter. It doesn't have to say it could say I rent I don't know what your husband's name is. Let's say your husband's name is Mark. Okay, I rent an apartment to Mark. I rented an apartment to Mark, and my records indicate that Mark and Judine live there together. Period. 2 sentences.
Yeah, but what if they come by and ask him if he wrote wouldn't that be fraud?
You wrote the letter, he's signing it. That's not fraud. I'm not telling you to go sign his name. I'm just saying make it easy for him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We don't have a good relationship with him.
So then you don't bring a landlord letter. I mean, you got to bring something. So
that's the thing. We don't have.
So if you don't, then get bills in both your names. But
well, do we have to send them in now with the paperwork?
No. You bring them at the time of the interview.
Okay. Also, my next question is: when you hire a lawyer, can your lawyer receive your mails?
Yes.
Like your green card and so.
Yes.
Okay. Good. That's what I wanted to know. So it doesn't have to come to an address that you live.
No. The lawyer can get it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was it. Thank you very much. All right.
Let's go to Samuel in Houston, Texas. Samuel. Samuel.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm all right.
I have a question. I was married on March 2016. So I never filed my adjustment of status till on 2017. So, but I went for my interview on May 2019.
Right.
So what happened was the attorney I hired never came. So on my verge of going into the interview, so he sent someone else to represent me on his behalf. So when I went in there, so I denied the attorney who came in there because I wasn't comfortable with him, and my wife also denied.
I don't blame you.
And my wife also denied the attorney. Like, we don't want him
Of course
because
not.
he was not even.
He doesn't know anything about you. He should have at least prepared you for an interview. I don't blame you. You're
Okay,
right.
so because they asked him for G28, he never had it, so I didn't know what was going on.
Right,
so,
you're right.
but anyway, we they asked us some question. We answered, me and my wife. But my problem and my question is this: I drive a truck with a moving company. I'm barely at home. Like, I'm always moving around. And my wife, whenever is tired of being home, she went out to be with my family in Dallas. But I'm using my address in Houston. So I'm trying to see, like, when we file the tax, our tax was showing in Dallas. But instead of the house I'm living, because I'm always out.
Samuel, you and your wife got to live together. Bottom line, I can't help you if you're in one city and she's in another. Immigration is not going to look positive on that. And you can't say, you live where you're not living. You and her got to live together. It's the bottom line. Everybody has to figure this one out. Okay? And I'm not even saying you to everybody. What's more important than a job, what's more important than making an extra couple of bucks, is straightening out your immigration status. To straighten it out through a marriage, you and your spouse must live together in the same home. You must have a financial relationship. End of story.
Yes.
I can't help you otherwise. So figure it out. Figure out how the two of you live together. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right, but I can't otherwise.
No.
So meanwhile, I do have to remind everybody that I do have an Instagram account. I haven't looked at it today, and I saw it right before the show that a whole bunch of people asked me questions. I'll get to it later tonight. I promise you I'll answer them all. I usually answer them within 24 hours.
You do?
Yes. So you can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me at Real Brad Bernstein, I do know who you are, or you're a member of the Brad Squad, or you are out of the comment closet and you make comments, and I've seen your name several times. I will know who you are, and I will be happy to answer your questions if I can. If I can't, I'll tell you to make a consultation. You can also follow at Brad Show Live, see all of our produced content, see highlights from the show the night before. Little Caesar's in charge of at Brad Show Live. She does a fantastic job on all the Instagram, and follow that as well. If you can't get enough of our live show, you can get even more on Instagram. And Travel Queen Kim, where would we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, clear my throat, at Travel Queen Kim.
It's very confusing. We don't know if you're Belgium Kim or Travel Queen Kim anymore. But tomorrow I can start calling you Travel Queen Kim if you want me to.
If you want to just call me Travel Queen Kim, by all means, I don't care. You're the one that instituted the Belgium Kim thing anyway.
I know.
What do you prefer?
I like Belgium Kim.
Well, then we're sticking with Belgium Kim.
I actually like Belgium Kim.
Yeah,
too.
but your Instagram is wrong then.
Are you Brad Show Live on Instagram?
No, I'm Real Brad Bernstein.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
So you can follow me at Travel Queen Kim on Instagram.
And you can definitely follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram. Sumit, hit your way up.
Yes.
Sumit.
And do not follow Jonathan Elstein. That's somebody completely different.
That ain't me.
That ain't him.
All right.
I want to meet that human so much.
Do you think there is a... I guarantee you there's at least multiple Jonathan Elsteins out there on Instagram. I guarantee you.
Jonathan, for sure.
Jonathan, not Jonathan, but Jonathan.
He might come for one show.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm
you dress up as Jonathan Elstein.
He might come for one show.
Right, and then you'll turn to me. You'll be like, oh, you're such a mensch. Brad, you're such a mensch.
I have to get my vocab together.
Mazel tov on such a fabulous, such a wonderful show. What a mensch you are. All right.
Oh my God.
So what?
I'm so sorry. There's a Jonathan Elstein
There is a
that
Jonathan
lives
Elstein.
in West Orange, New Jersey. He's 43 years
don't call
old.
that. Don't call that. All right. So meanwhile, if you're injured in a construction site accident and you are due compensation for your injuries and loss of ability to work, who do you sue? Well, Spar and Bernstein's personal injury attorney and partner, Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch, breaks it all down for us. Let's check it out. Every year, 10% of construction workers in the United States of America get injured on the job. According to the Census of Fatal Occupational Injuries in 2017 alone, 5,147 construction workers died on the job. When an accident leaves a construction worker incapacitated, they and their families lose the financial security they once had. A good attorney is needed to make sure that the injured parties are compensated to the highest level because most of the time they will never be able to work again. And there is one bite of the apple when it comes to fighting for compensation in court. With me to discuss what to do if you or your loved one is involved in a job construction accident is Spar and Bernstein's very own personal injury attorney and partner, Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch. Moshe, how are you?
Good.
All right, so Moshe, let me ask you a question. You get injured in a job, and a lot of people say, well, I don't want to sue my employer. I'm not going to do that. I like the guy. I don't want to sue my employer. What do you have to say about that?
I notice a lot of people, they do that. They say, well, you know, I got injured on the job. I love my employer. He's treating me fairly. I don't want to sue him. Well, the good news is, Brad, you can't sue your employer.
What do you mean you can't sue your employer?
Well, that's the law. You can't sue your employer because the law in New York State says if you get injured on the job, you get certain types of benefits in form of workers' compensation. And so as a change for that, you can't sue your employer legally. There are two exceptions, though, really quickly, Brad.
Okay.
The two exceptions are if your employer intentionally hits you, so if, God forbid, Brad, you intentionally hit me.
Right. Which I once almost wanted to once, but I didn't.
All right, that's the first
Right.
exception. You can then sue your employer. And the second exception is if he doesn't have workers' compensation insurance.
Right.
If he doesn't have workers' compensation insurance, then you can sue him because now you don't have where to go to for your medical benefits and your out-of-pocket expenses.
So who are you suing then?
So, in a construction accident, there are general contractors, there's the owner of the premises where the accident occurred, there are the subcontractors. And so 240, 241 labor laws permit you to sue all of these people strictly. It's strict liability. So you can sue the owner of the premises. Even
What do you
if
mean by strict liability? What does that mean?
strict liability means it's not delegable, the duties of keeping the workplace safe.
It's automatic liability.
Correct. And you can sue any one of them. You can sue the owner 100%, you can sue the subcontractor 100%, it doesn't matter. But usually you sue everybody all together, and then they apportion the liability.
What type of situations can you sue everybody? Or, I mean, what happens if you trip over something you're not watching, or you stab yourself by accident? I mean, can you still sue everybody? I mean, at what point can you not start suing everybody?
So usually 241 and 241.6 allow you to sue for several types of incidents. For example, if you fall off a scaffold, you don't have to prove why the scaffold was defective or why you fell. Again, it's strict liability. You fall off a scaffold, the presumption of negligence is imputed on these people, and so you don't have to show why the scaffold fell. You can also sue if you trip and fall over an object on the ground where you're working. You can sue if you slip and fell on water or
If
substance.
something falls on you or you fall.
Correct. So it's gravity related.
Any gravity-related accident,
Exactly.
or you tripping over something.
So you're working and something from the top of you falls and you weren't even working with that particular object, you've got a case.
Now, you had a case where somebody was injured as a result of their employer not giving them some equipment that would have prevented them from getting injured.
Correct.
And that person didn't want to sue the employer. And you're like, don't worry, you're not suing them.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened in that case.
When he came in for consultation, he told me that his employer was the one who were giving everybody the equipment, the safety equipment they were using on the job. And the employer forgot to give him his harness to attach to the ceiling where he was working. And when he was working, he fell, and the harness would have prevented his fall, and his employer apologized to him. And then when he came to me, he said, I don't want to sue my employer, although it was his fault. And I said to him, good news. You can't sue your employer. And so unfortunately what we had to do was we had to get the owner of the premises, the general contractors, the subcontractors involved, and the employer was not part of the lawsuit.
And what was the end result of this case?
That one settled for $1.5 million.
He got $1.5 million after the man didn't want to sue at all because he thought he was going to be suing his employer. And he ended up settling for $1.5 million. What was his injury?
He had a back surgery. It was a herniation into his lumbar spine. And the good news is he went back to work within 6 months of the accident.
Wow. So 6 months out of work, a back surgery, didn't want to sue his employer. He was going to walk away from $1.5 million. But Moshe said, wait a second, you're not suing your employer. You're suing everybody else. None of these people you know.
Exactly.
And he ended up with $1.5 million, and his back is better, hopefully, and he's back at work.
And the good news is, a lot of times you don't know who the contractors or subcontractors are. And so you can sleep good at night knowing that you're not suing your employer. You're going to get paid if you have a good lawyer working on the case, and you live a beautiful life in the future.
That's wonderful. Great news. So everybody out there, we say this all the time, 10% of construction workers get injured every year. And there's a good percentage of them who never do anything about it. Well, that has to change. And the first thing you have to do is save our telephone number. It's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. If anybody gets injured in an accident, you need to have good attorneys right there, ready and willing and able and intelligent and smart and effective. You need a bulldozer like Moshe Baruch. That's what you need. 1-800-529-5465. That's who you need to help you. God forbid you're in an accident. Save our telephone number because people get hurt on construction accidents all the time. Thanks, Moshe.
No problem.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, so we got to do something we like to call social media check. All right, what do we got? What do we got?
All right, our first one comes from Tanisha Thomas saying, hey, Brad, my case was transferred twice to the same service center. One on the 9th of July to Nebraska Service Center from California, and then again on the 29th of August to Nebraska. What's happening?
Immigration's just shuffling paperwork around. That's what's happening.
Okay. Any cause for concern?
No, it's just going to be delay.
Dang.
Gosh. Mitzi says, I'm on a J1 visa since December of 2016. I got married this year, and I got an extension to my original contract this month. I need to file for a waiver of the 2-year home residency rule. So what's the process? And do I get a no objection statement from the government or of the home country first, or does the waiver from the U.S. come through first? I'd also like to know if I have to wait to get approval before I can file for the adjustment. I'm a bit confused about the process.
I'm not sure if this was the same guy who called before, but I'm going to explain the process. If you come on a J visa, you have a 2-year home residence requirement, you're subject to 212E, whatever it is on your passport, you are not allowed to get a green card for 2 years until you physically leave the United States. Now, you can get a waiver of that requirement to go home for 2 years under one of 4 scenarios. You can get a no objection letter from your government saying they don't need your services back home, they can care less if you come back home or not. You get that no objection letter first from your government. It then gets transferred to the State Department, who has to rubber stamp it. Once the State Department rubber stamps it, you have a waiver. It's option 1. Option 2 is if your home country will not give you that no objection letter, you do something based on extreme and unusual hardship to your spouse. She will suffer extreme and unusual hardship if you guys are separated for 2 years. That gets filed directly with immigration. The third way is to show that there is an interested government agency that wants your services. They usually do this with doctors and scientists, doctors who are working in areas where there's not enough medical people, scientists who are working on behalf of the U.S. government. Those are the general ways. I said 4, but it's really 3. Those are the general ways in which you can remove that 2-year home residence requirement. But as far as the no objection letter is concerned, you get the no objection letter first, then you get it stamped by the State Department. It gets transferred. It's not like stamped, it's like you walk over and they stamp it. And then it gets transferred to the State Department. Then you get the waiver approved. And then and only then can you file your adjustment. If you file it beforehand, your adjustment will be denied.
All right, our next one comes from Sammy British saying, I have a pending VAWA case. However, I got involved with the guy who I temporarily stayed with because after the relationship with my husband ended, I wasn't working and had nowhere else to go. The thing wasn't working out as I was emotionally still hurting and it got sexually. However, after trying to leave, he restricted me and I bit him in self-defense. We were both charged with the case, and the case got dismissed. I haven't had an interview yet. This case, though dismissed, will it affect my VAWA case?
Well, it affects good moral character, but it sounds like you have a very bad story about being abused and then having a man trying to, assert power over you, which is a form of abuse also. It sounded like you were defending yourself, and ultimately the case was dismissed, so it should be okay.
We've got a question from Andre who said, I came to the U.S. and I got married and we had some problems and then we got a divorce. I filed to remove the conditions on my own through a bona fide marriage and I got my 10-year green card last month. I'd like to know now with the new wage law Trump is implementing, what's the best way to go about filing for my mom who's in Jamaica and my girlfriend who's here in the U.S. She's got DACA. Should I wait until next year when I'm eligible for citizenship or now before the new law takes effect?
It's not going to make any difference. The new law will take effect and you'll both your new wife and your mother will be affected by it. You can get married to your wife and you can file for her but as a permanent resident, but you can't file for your parent until you're a citizen.
All right, D. Forbes is next saying, hey, good afternoon, Brad. Me and my daughter was living with my boyfriend in the United States, who's a U.S. citizen. We never overstayed. She was attending school on a B1, B2 visa. And when we came back home, because our 6 months was about to expire, as we were headed back to the airport, she was screened and questioned, and her visa was canceled, which I now found out it's against the law to school on a tourist visa. So I would like to know if this would affect me, my boyfriend, from filing the K1, K2 visa for us.
Yes, you're going to need a waiver.
Aisha said, will the public charges apply if both my significant other and I are highly qualified, well-educated, but our minimum yearly income is less than $60,000?
Yes.
Muhammad says, my mother petitioned for my brother over 21 and got approved a I-130 in 2015, but NVC did not send us an invoice number to proceed the process. So in advance, what to do? I tried to contact them, but no answer.
Yeah, you can write them is the best way.
Fares said, I'm going to be a citizen next November. Congrats. Please tell me if I should file the I-130 for my spouse now as a green card holder, or is it better to wait until I'm a citizen? And does the $62,000 a year apply to citizens as well?
Yes, it does apply to citizens as well, and you should file for her now.
All right, Samuel saying, please read today. So we're reading today.
Reading today.
I came to America with a CR1 visa. Do I need to apply for my plastic physical green card to apply for my 10-year, or don't need the physical green card to apply for the 10-year green card?
You don't need the physical 10-year green card. If you've been a resident for 2 years, you file within 90 days the 2-year home residence requirement. Not the home residence requirement, 2 years of the end of the... Say that one more time. It's one of those days. You file 90 days before the end of your 2-year conditional resident status, even though you don't have the card.
All right.
Boy, that was, I don't know.
Was that a tongue twister?
No, it wasn't a tongue twister. I'm like J visas, 2-year home residence requirements. I'm just all wrong words right now.
There's a lot
of information flying around this brain here.
I was just about to say a lot of lingo
like UFOs.
in the air. Yeah. 29 Super C, do me a favor and ask your question again because I do not understand what you wrote down about
Why don't you just
read it?
Read it.
Right. Still confirming the skill set my company file me as, but I want to believe EB3. Once confirmed, we'll send you the continuation of my question.
Fine. He's getting sponsored in a job.
Yeah.
They don't
way.
know if he's an unskilled worker, which is an EW category, if he's the EB3, which is a category that is skilled, where you have the minimum requirements for the job require 2 years experience before taking the job, or maybe he's an EB2, which would be a master's degree professional position. And now he's saying he's not sure what category he's in, so he will, when he finds out, ask his question. That's why I said just read it.
Wow. I apologize, 29. 2 years, I'm still surprised by the man beside me, y'all. All right, go ahead, Yavin. Wow,
all right,
that's
Baby
unbelievable.
D, 1984. Says, Brad, I heard that you said that VAWA expires at the end of the month. So does this mean I could still file for VAWA before the 30th?
I would suggest you do.
Safi said USCIS emailed my ex-landlord and asked him if I was living there with my husband. Is that normal for a VAWA case?
Anything is normal for a VAWA case. They can investigate any way they want.
Antoine Bent saying, I'm married to a U.S. citizen that wants to file for me. Got some charges for fleeing from the police after I was given a ticket for 50 in a 30. Got the visa revoked when I went to the Caribbean. What can I do?
So now they're stuck back home.
Yeah.
Have your future spouse go down to the Caribbean.
They're married.
Then have them file an I-130, and if you need a waiver for any sort of anything you did wrong that's against immigration laws, we'll do a waiver at the end. I'm not sure.
You can get some from having charges of fleeing from the police.
Fleeing from the police is a serious crime.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know what the person was found guilty of.
Got you.
Right.
That's the main thing.
This bothers me because that went from a real simple speeding ticket to a really serious offense. 50 and a 30 is not that crazy.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That was not a good day for this
No,
guy.
that was
just a very bad day.
Poor decision making on that day. That's
Don't
tough.
flee the police.
Don't flee. Don't flee. Omar said, my question is, if you don't file joint taxes with your wife after 5 years, when you're doing your citizenship, is it gonna affect you?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
There you go.
Wait, if you don't file joint taxes with your wife? Oh, I thought you meant, no, I'm just kidding. I thought they meant if they were.
No, how I understand the question is that he's had a green card for more than 5 years.
Yeah.
He'd like to file for his citizenship. He doesn't file a joint tax return with his wife. And the answer is no, it won't affect you because you don't have to prove you and your spouse are in a bona fide marriage if you've had a green card for more than 5 years. You just have to prove you pay your taxes. If you're basing it on 3 years of having a green card, then yes, you need a joint tax return.
All right, Kenny Ohio saying, after calling USCIS saying I have not received my NOA receipt, they gave me a TIB case number and said I'll get a receipt soon. It's 13 days, yet I've still received nothing. Should I resend my petition or an email or just wait?
Wait.
Our next question comes from Fatuma, who said, my husband wants to file for me, but we noticed in his 2017 taxes that he'd accidentally filed jointly with a friend, and they had put married as filing status. We noticed it in error, and we can't submit such taxes to USCIS because it might bring up problems. What's your advice? I'm so worried. And we also have a friend who wants to give us an affidavit. What documents do we need from that friend? Yeah.
You and your friend filed a joint tax return by mistake and you want anyone to believe you?
That is the question, as I believe. I'm rusty on questions apparently today, Brad. I'm really struggling, but I think
there's not a human being in the world who just listened to that question and believes that your husband and this random friend somehow filed a joint tax return by mistake. What needs to happen is you need to amend it and then make you and the person, you and your husband, the joint tax return. What it sounds like to me, or what it would sound like to immigration, is that your husband's in a relationship with some other woman, and this is a business thing between you and him.
Or that was a business thing with the other woman.
Right, but something ain't no mistake.
Right, 100%.
Right.
We got some
and I would not have anyone affidavit saying, oh yeah, I committed tax fraud.
But now I'd like to amend it.
Yes, I'd like to amend that tax fraud. Right.
All right. Anna K saying, can a person who's out of status own an online business?
Yes.
Our next question, I'm so sorry, comes from Samuel. We've got the squad going crazy in the comments. Samuel said, I went to my first interview and it seems everything went well, but the officer asked me to bring proof that my first marriage was annulled. Anyway, I gave them my divorce certification. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, as long as it was terminated and you were free to marry your next spouse, why not?
All right. Can you still saying, hey guys, question. Can I file an I-864 by myself? I have worked in the U.S. for more than 15 years before I filed for the adjustment of status.
No, because you need to show 10 years of legal employment. I assume he was not legally employed.
I had a J1 entry, but expired a long time ago.
He was not legally employed, so that was unlawful employment. You can't.
So what should they do now?
Get someone else to give an affidavit of support.
Our next question comes from Mintu Saab, who said, can someone file for VAWA if their wife put him in jail with false allegations and your case got dismissed?
Yep.
Sam K saying, do I need a transcript or tax return for the I-864? I submitted the W-2, 2 recent pay stubs, and 3 years of tax returns.
They may ask for the transcripts.
And our very last question of this social media check-in is from Maxwell, who said, my girlfriend is a citizen who's a graduate student, but she's on food stamps. I'm here on a B1, B2, and a family member wants to give us an affidavit of support. She's currently studying in Michigan, and I'm in Syracuse. Could we go ahead with our marriage after my 90 days and then file before October 15th? Time's running out.
Yes, but you guys better live together. You're not even in the same state, and she still's got to get off food stamps, or you're not getting through. Is that it, Belgium Kim?
That's
it. It is.
All right. So in the 1990s, in Clarkston, Georgia, was identified by refugee asylum programs as an ideal resettlement area. Clarkston is now known for its ethnic diversity, and it's often referred to as the most diverse square mile in America and the Ellis Island to the south. It is estimated that half of the town's population originally comes from outside of the United States. You may even remember we did an expose or we did a segment on the on the refugee coffee.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Love
right?
Refuge Coffee Shop.
Right. And that was also in Clarkston, Georgia. So I recently spoke with Mayor Ted Terry. He is the mayor of this very unique town, the most diverse town, the most ethnically diverse town in the United States of America. Let's watch. Ted Terry currently serves as the mayor of Clarkston, Georgia, the most ethnically diverse square mile in America. Ted is the youngest mayor in Clarkston's 135-year history. With more than 17 years of experience in public service, Ted is leading Clarkston's vision to become a more welcoming and compassionate community. Under Ted's leadership, Clarkston has become the first city in Georgia to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour for city employees, make Election Day a holiday, and decriminalize simple marijuana possession. He has been outspoken about climate change's impact on refugees and forced migration, and has committed Clarkston to a goal of 100% clean energy by 2050. Welcome, Mayor Ted, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Brad, for having me.
Wow,
glad to be here.
You when they say you are the youngest mayor in Clarkston history, I'm now looking at you. How old are you? You're in your 20s?
I turned 36 a few months ago.
Wow, you look very good for 36. Congratulations.
Thank you. You should have seen me when I was 30 years old when I first went in. I was very young then.
So what inspired you to become mayor of Clarkston, Georgia? Is this your first foray into politics?
Yes, my first run for office in 2013, and I've been involved in politics since I was 18 years old. So I spent years learning about it, and when the time came, I was encouraged by my neighbors to run.
Did you grow up in Clarkston?
I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, and moved to Georgia about 15 years ago, and I've lived in Clarkston for almost a decade now.
Now we're going back to 2013. There was a major issue happening in Clarkston that you didn't like, and you went to the mayor, I understand, and you spoke to him, and he rejected whatever thoughts you had on this issue. Tell me about this issue.
Well, like some residential areas around America, there's speeders that come through the neighborhood, and we have a lot of children, young families, and I was asking for speed bumps in our neighborhood, and the mayor at the time said, nope, can't do it.
Why did he not want to do it?
We're friends now, but at the time he was kind of a cranky old fella, and generally just didn't take any concerns from ordinary people like myself at the time seriously. And so I figured the best way to make a politician take issues seriously is you threaten their job.
And that's what you did. So now, how did you get people to come out and vote for you?
Well, I'd worked on campaigns for almost a decade before I ran, and so I learned campaigning, knock on doors, communicate with people, hold public meetings, do a lot more listening than talking. And through that, I discovered a lot of the issues that weren't being talked about in our city. And I gave voice to those people who didn't feel like they were being heard.
What were you hearing from the constituents as you were knocking on their doors, and who are the groups that weren't being heard?
There's two categories. One is younger voters, voters who just don't vote as much in local elections, and so politicians usually just bypass them because they figure they don't vote anyways. And then the other, of course, is our immigrant community. And whether it's language barriers or cultural aversion, I think a lot of our elected officials in the past in Clarkston's history kind of resented some of our immigrant residents and didn't bother to reach out to them. And so when I showed up at their door, they were just incredibly appreciative because they had never had that sort of interaction from a candidate, and let alone a mayor before that.
Let's talk about the demographics a little bit in Clarkston. When did the demographics start changing, and how did that change the town?
Clarkston became one of sort of those first suburban developments of a growing Atlanta. So at the time, it was mostly white, black farming community, but a lot of apartment complexes were built in the 70s and early 80s, which paved the way for a lot of affordable housing options around that time period.
So why did refugees start coming to Clarkston out of all towns? How did this become a haven for refugees from all over the world?
Yeah, well, right as Atlanta was growing, there was a high vacancy rate in the city of Clarkston. People were continuing to move further out into the suburbs. And right around that time, Jimmy Carter signed the Refugee Act of 1980. And that really created the formalized process to resettle refugees to different parts of America. And Atlanta and then Clarkston became one of those areas where refugees were resettled. Clarkston being a small town, 1.4 square miles, the post office, the grocery store, the high school, the college, the technical college, everything was within a 10-minute walk and very approachable and I think manageable to a lot of people who were really starting their lives over and never been to America. And so we like to say that Clarkston is a really good starter city for people really getting an entry point into learning about how to become, as we call them, a new American.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the different ethnicities that have moved into Clarkston? How do people get along? How do they speak to each other if they're not speaking the same language?
I'll say this, the definition of a refugee was defined after World War II, and that is someone who has a well-founded fear of persecution based on their identity, whether it's religious, political, ethnicity, or national origin. So when you talk about how do we get 50 nationalities, 60 languages in our city over the last 35 plus years, you really can chart the course of human and world events going back to the aftermath of the Vietnam War, the famine and civil war in Ethiopia, the civil war in Somalia, go through the Bosnian, Serbian, Croatian conflicts, up into the aftermath of the Afghanistan war, the Iraq war, the conflicts and persecutions in Bhutan and Sudan and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, more recently Syria, and people from Burma.
Now, you just rattled off different countries. Probably all of those countries were on Donald Trump's shithole list. Now, you live with these human beings every day. Tell me what it's like to interact with all of the different types of refugees and immigrants that you come across.
Well, oftentimes when I talk about Clarkston, I like to quote Mark Twain. He said that travel is fatal to bigotry, prejudice, and narrow-mindedness, and one cannot develop broad, wholesome views of the world by vegetating in one's own corner for one's entire life. And the bumper sticker, Brad, is travel is the only cure for ignorance. And I'll profess in my own experiences, I was ignorant of a lot of cultures and religions. And so I will understand the uncomfortableness and the fear that exists in some people who have never had these interactions, which is always why we have an open invitation to our president, to our political leaders, to anyone who is curious to meet a refugee, to meet an asylum seeker. And don't take what you see on the internet or on television or hear on the radio to be what the truth is. Go out and see for yourself.
You are on the front lines of welcoming refugees. Your town is the most diverse town in America, that 1 mile. Tell me how the crime is there in Clarkston, Georgia.
Well, I'm happy to say that our experience in Clarkston over the last 35 plus years has been one of a peaceful coexistence of what you would otherwise think of as contradictory religious groups or ethnic groups. We're not immune to the typical public safety issues that every city across America has. But what I can say is we've consistently been ranked one of the 50 safest cities in Georgia. In fact, actually, when the refugee resettlement rate went up under President Obama, the crime rate in Clarkston and the surrounding areas went down. Refugees and asylum seekers, people who are fleeing violence, people who understand that if they abuse this opportunity to start their lives over, they can be deported. They understand how sacred that pledge and that duty is, and they uphold it.
I say on my show, people are escaping violence. People are coming here for a better life. They're not coming here to commit crimes. They're coming here to better their lives.
That's right. And I'll just, I'll say in America, we're seeing a rise in white nationalist extremism. And so we are being proactive to make sure that if there are young people who feel disaffected, who feel that they're alone in the world, that their only resort to respond to the problems they're having is with violence, is that we try to head that off as soon as possible.
Now, on a different note, for those who aren't familiar with the show Queer Eye, it's an American reality television series in which 5 gay professionals in the field of fashion and grooming and interior design go around and they do a makeover of a man. Now, you were featured on one of the episodes of Queer Eye. It was in the 2nd season. Why were you featured, and how was that experience?
I had quite the beard. I'll just say that.
Right.
I'd grown my resistance beard, as I called it, out for almost 2 years.
Right.
They filmed the first 2 seasons of Queer Eye on Netflix here in Georgia. They went all over Georgia, all over Metro Atlanta. They came to Clarkston one day, the producers, and so they basically talked me into doing it, Brad. Right. I said no about 13 times. But, you know, I mean, it was a great experience. I mean, I think my hair was that bad before, but, you know, I got Jonathan doing my hair, Tan doing my outfits. I got some nice, you know, wardrobe advice.
Right. That's funny. Now, do you know your immigration story? I assume you were born in America, but do you know your family's immigration story?
From my father's side of the family, they trace their lineage back to the Mayflower and that exodus from England.
Right.
And then on my mother's side, they were settlers from Scotland who came to Virginia in the early 1700s.
So your family dates back 300-400 years in the United States of America.
Yes, according to my mother.
Wow.
And she did good research. I think she's pretty credible.
I believe your mom. So this show is about reaching your American dream. Tell me what your American dreams are, not only for yourself, but for your town, for the United States of America.
Well, it's really about living your best life. You know, it's kind of the hashtag these days. You know, I think when you talk to particularly the new Americans that come to Clarkston who tell about their experiences back home and how, you know, they weren't allowed to express their religious beliefs or political beliefs, or they weren't allowed to speak up, or they were threatened with violence because of their identity, whether it was being a transgender person or being, you know, a lesbian or gay. Coming to America and realizing that freedoms that they never thought they would get in their home countries are now afforded to them, provided this amazing space and this opportunity to really become who they were meant to be.
Well, Ted Terry, Mayor of Clarkston, Georgia, I really appreciate your time. Congratulations on making Clarkston a safer, better place to live, not only for people who are born in America, but people who are coming from all over the world, immigrating, escaping violence. Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. And just by the way, Mayor Terry, he's now running for the Democratic Party nomination in the 2020 U.S. Senate election. Maybe you have just seen, it's possible you have just seen the next senator from the state of Georgia.
That's right.
That'd be kind of cool,
Oh,
right?
I'm so excited for him.
All right, let's put Coolio. Coolio is in the control room today. We put 2 minutes on the clock, 15 questions. Yesterday, we stopped the clock at 3 seconds, and you thought I was going to jump under the table.
Yes.
Perhaps today I will jump under in around 20 seconds. I'll just go under. No?
No.
All right. I'll wait to the end to blow up.
Yes, thank you.
All right, you ready?
It won't happen.
All right. Jonathan, don't look so stressed this time.
I know. Look,
You
look, I'm like this.
You see how calm I am, Jonathan?
Okay, let me just be calm.
All right,
This is like Jan's driver's test. 10 and 2. I got this.
All right, you ready?
Be chill.
All right, Belgium Kim, you start.
Dornette says, how long after fingerprinting will they reply?
Will they reply to what? I don't know, but at fingerprinting, you can get a work permit 6 months after you file.
And Verona says, just need to know the filing for my husband in Jamaica. I'm still using Fidelis with Medicaid. Will it affect the filing?
No.
Andre said, can I help my parents get a visitor's visa if I'm a permanent resident?
They get their own visitor's visa.
Mary Anderson says, can someone give you an affidavit of support if they don't have a lot of money in the bank?
It's about your tax returns.
Samora said, can a state ID and passport be used as the proof of citizenship
By
in
the
an
way,
I-130?
every one of these questions was asked yesterday.
I remember these.
We have to start again. We've heard all of these. These are yesterday's questions.
Yeah.
Who loaded this? Let's
isn't
stop
us.
again. Let's stop.
I remember that. I was like, that's
all
all
of these questions. All of these questions we did yesterday. Who loaded this? Who loaded
We're
this?
resetting.
Reset again. Come on.
This isn't our fault.
Come on. Come on. Who's setting this thing up here?
If I look like I'm somebody who throws our team under the bus, you got the wrong one, Mr. Bernstein.
Who is it? Is it J Cube? Coolio, Little Caesar, Party Rock. Give me the name, damn it! Give me the name.
What's that one intern that just left?
Oh yeah, Patrick, Jordana, and Shira all did it together. There it is.
All right, are we ready now?
We are ready.
With the new questions.
Absolutely.
Those were yesterday's questions.
Let's start this again.
And these are today's questions.
Today's questions.
But you saw how calm I was? I felt great.
I did.
Yeah, because you already read those questions
It's
yesterday.
your second go through.
I was wondering.
And by the way, how come nobody in the squad realized those were yesterday's questions?
They just want to see this happen.
Oh, Marge, now after I say something, those are still questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. You ready now?
Okay, ready. Laddie Brown said, after you submit your I-751 application, how long before you get a response?
About 3 to 4 weeks.
Tanisha says, how long after marriage can you file a petition for your spouse?
The next day.
Baby D said, can I still file for VAWA?
Up until September 30th.
Saraba says, how long to take a 212 waiver?
212 waiver in a court could be 2 to 3 years. A 212 waiver to re-enter after prior deportation could be about a year.
Maharaji says, is an immigration judge still able to terminate proceedings with an approved I-130?
They're not doing that anymore. They can, but they're told not to.
Jumping Drew says, I'm a resident alien. If I'm married to a citizen, can I file for my siblings in Jamaica?
No, you have to be a U.S. citizen.
Lady Gaza said, Brad, is VAWA over?
As of right now, it is. Hopefully Congress passes an extension.
Kristen says, how long does citizenship take to, how long does it take? I'm in Queens, New York.
Anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half.
DZ Info said, does an expedited request from a congressman have any weight?
Very little.
Rog says, if you file the VAWA before the 15th of October, will it be okay? If it's an abuse marriage, you have the best show. Thanks.
I have no idea, but thank you for the best show. I don't know what's going to happen after September 30th. We'll see.
Prince said, I came here with a medical visa, B1, B2. Can I get a green card without getting married to a U.S. citizen because my situation needs to continue treatment here in the U.S.?
There's no such thing as I'm sick, I need a green card.
Tanya says, is it normal to get the stepchild I-130 approved before spouse?
Sometimes that happens.
Aman said, can it be a problem for USCIS to approve the case if we got married after dating for 24 days?
Yeah, no. So if it's a real marriage, it's a real marriage.
Under says, does public charge affect conditional resident?
No, because you've already got your conditional green card.
Tosin said, how does a U.S. citizen children under 18 become a citizen?
Because their parents are citizens and they live with their U.S. citizen parent they live with that period.
That's
it. So you actually live with them in their legal and physical custody. I couldn't get the words out.
Right, well we knew.
I was like, it's a legal and physical custody. You gotta live. I like how you got
it. We got it. And I was nice and calm.
Yes.
I do have kind of a quick follow-up because Aman, we do not have this context from this, but I had seen in a previous question. I think Aman came here on a tourist visa and then got married to his girlfriend after 24 days.
Well, then you need a waiver. And then another context question was, when do you hear on an I-751?
Yes.
You get a receipt in 2 to 3 weeks or 4 weeks extending your green card for 18 months. If the question is, when do you hear to get a green card, it'll be 18 months later. So I'm not sure what, that was too vague, so I just gave the best answer I can give at that moment.
It was perfect.
Comments of the day, Belgium, Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elstein. Comments of the day.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Tamika Nelson on Facebook saying, Brad is the best. I refer someone to him that was going to give up and go back to Jamaica, and his sister called me and asked me to ask Brad a question. Now he's still here and he's able to travel and work. Brad's the best, hands down.
Hey!
That's amazing. That's amazing. Woo!
Woo! Yes.
No more clips, no more. Okay, continue.
Wow.
I don't know how
That's
to
amazing though. That's what we asked for, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is, you know how it says it takes a village to raise kids and a family? This is a village. Like the Brad Squad, you guys also help thousands of people, whether it's your friends or just random people.
Right, just telling them about this.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
You're doing
amazing.
a service.
Yeah, they were going to give up.
Yeah.
And now they're still here and working, so
It
big ups.
takes your village. You're totally right, yeah. Our second one is from 29 Super C, who said about when people were talking about Sumi inviting us definitely going to Sumit's house.
Sumi.
He said, I want to go and see the house in Atlanta if he invites the entire Brad squad.
All right, so let me explain again.
Right.
All right? I'm in a room by myself.
Right.
Now,
Everybody else can fend for
everyone else
themselves.
can be in the other bedroom, but now it'll be several thousand people,
Right.
one on top of the other. I think that could be a hygiene issue.
We could break a record for most people spooning in one room.
Okay. All right, our third comment of the day comes from Zane, Supermom Good Insane. This show is so entertaining. I can't help to listen through one ear at work with my headphones. It's like I'm addicted. Thank God for iPhone AirPods.
Wow.
Hey, amen to that. And our last few comments of the day today, our last couple,
They go as a group.
They go as a group because this happened because our Brad squad decided to share where they just can't live without us, Brad.
Oh.
And it turned out that so many of our Brad squatters, included Anna Kay, said, my favorite show's on. I've got to go take a shower to hit the road all while charging my phone, so I just plug my phone in, connect my Bluetooth, and take it with me to the bathroom. I can't afford to miss 1/12 of a second.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We are
All right.
in Brad Squad bathroom. Where else do we have the Brad
Well,
Squad?
not only her being in the shower, we got Fearless Michelle on Facebook saying, on the regular, the phone dangling right under the shower. Wow.
Oh my God.
So,
a lot of women are showering during the show, Jonathan. Dr. Yo-Yo.
Cordella told us that she puts the phone on the soap holder in the shower. I'm not kidding. You think
so
I'm kidding?
You're watching us while you're lathering.
Yes.
Yeah. Lather away.
I'm gonna tell you. Jilly just whispered in my ear. Now, knowing that everybody's very clean, she doesn't mind sharing a bedroom with everybody and spooning.
This is
Bradshaw
true.
Red Spoon Fest
Now I
2019.
can spoon with y'all.
Is there any other?
That's everything, Brad.
That's
the group
everything.
spoon is
All
it.
right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?